Welcome to lesson 218. Only my condemnation injures me. Today we are reviewing this lesson, and after that I'm going to guide you to a Qigong class where you can actually enter into a deep meditative state and apply the lesson in and anchor it well in your body. My name is Judith. This is the Qigong support for A Course in Miracles students, and this is part of the Lucid Mind Center, which is a virtual center for retraining the mind. And I feel that the Course in Miracles is one of the strongest tools to retrain the mind, to get our mind where we want it to be, and also connect to our source. And Qigong is helping us to understand the role of the body in this connection with source, and also begin seeing the world in the right way once we understand the role of the body. Let's begin reading our lesson together. Lesson 218. Only my condemnation injures me. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. And this is a very, very interesting point, especially as I am diving into Taoism and Buddhism, and I'm looking at those philosophies and religions which have really brought a lot of information to us. But we've got to look at everything within the context of when it was perceived, when it was received, when it was written. And some of them are misguiding us if we don't look at them in the context of when they were written. So, I am not a body, I am free. This is similar to when the Eastern religions are talking about emptiness. But emptiness for us Westerners almost has got a kind of a negative spin. So, I am not a body can also be scary for some, but it's just to understand that our mind is actually totally abstract. So is consciousness itself, really. So is the divine. It is totally abstract. And what we want to become aware of is that we are not a body. We are totally free because we are still the way as the divine source has created us. And this is not something we can understand conceptually. This is something we can experience, the same as you cannot really understand conceptually love, but you can experience it. The love you're experiencing for your children, for your parents, for the loved one, for your friends. This kind of love, it is difficult to explain to somebody, especially if it's a specific love you have for a special love which can be explained. The most unconditional love for most people is the love towards their children. And to explain this kind of love to somebody who does not have children is difficult because they haven't experienced it. And here's the same. This is a concept. I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. But it's only pointing us in the direction. It is not explaining it. It's just pointing us in the direction of us actually experiencing it. And we can experience it when we sink deep within. And therefore I have recorded those Qigong classes for you where I'm going to help you sink deep within, either by standing, a moving meditation, or in a seated meditation. And the idea which we are reviewing is from lesson 198. Only my condemnation injures me. My condemnation keeps my vision dark, and through my sightless eyes I cannot see the vision of my glory. Yet today I can behold this glory and be glad. Condemnation is also abstract, but you know what it is. When you are condemning somebody, or when you're condemning yourself, and you're saying, you are guilty, you've done this, you've done that, and then you're holding this condemnation against the person. But if you're holding that condemnation against the person, you're holding the person prisoner in that condemnation in your mind. but you also have to watch that condemnation, so you're holding yourself prisoner. So the condemnation is it's injuring you more than it's injuring the other person. And if you're condemning yourself, if you fall into guilt, where you are saying, oh, I shouldn't have done that, I shouldn't have done this, and you don't undo this, you're almost holding like a small part of yourself in darkness, because you're not allowing yourself to move on. So this is kind of something which you gotta forgive. And you can use Qigong for that as well. You can inhale, and then you can imagine that you are shaking it out, that you're exhaling it, you know, that you're getting rid of it. Condemnation is one of those negative aspects which is based in fear. And this is focused. It's focused energy. Love is expanding energy. Love is something which expands, or gratitude, or joy, happiness. This is something which expands outwards, and you also include other people. Whereby the negative emotions, they are pinpointed. They are like arrows. They are like knives. You know, fear, it's pinpointed, or anxiety, it even pinpoints itself in the body, and it's like a contraction. So condemnation is like a contraction. It's where you're keeping something contracted, and you're keeping this hate or fear or guilt or whatever else you would like, the way you would like to explain it maybe better, is you keeping it like in a pocket, and you say, no, I'm going to hold on to it because I think this is better for me. But what you actually need to do, you need to open up and let it go. And that's what we are training now. So it's only my condemnation which injures me. So for today's class, I actually suggest that you're doing the class which I have suggested for this lesson 198, which is a release, which is where you're letting go with the 6 healing sounds as well. Because sometimes the condemnation, you don't actually know, apart that it's the fear, which is the base feelings, but then there is different layers. It can be envy, it can be jealousy, it can be anger, it can be worry, it can be sadness. So this condemnation is attached to something. So with the 6 healing sounds, we are basically letting go of each one of the possibilities, and then afterwards you feel lighter. Okay? So it's only my condemnation which injures me. It's only our condemnation which injures us. So I am not a body, I am free, for I am still as God created me. And if I am holding any kind of grief, if I'm holding condemnation, then I cannot become aware of that I am actually free, and that I am still as God created me, still as the light has created me, or the love has created me. Okay? So I hope this makes sense to you. I suggest, like I said, one of the 2 seated meditations, or you do the one with the 6 healing sounds. Enjoy. Love, light, and chi to you.